Supernatural Convention of 2015. By the time we see you next, you will have seen Richard Spate's Supernatural directorial debut. And you will have seen our mid-season finale, which is super exciting. But I think there are some people who work with us in the audience, so I can't give too much away. Just kidding. Can I get a show of hands? Who's first time? Welcome to our big, happy, crazy family. We got your back as long as you got ours. So, without further ado, gentlemen.
You know I love a do. I just a do all day.
And I love a don't. Let's get this party started. You guys have been waiting. Hi. Yeah, that's a heck of a trek to that microphone, huh?
Hi.
Hi. You can move it around if you want.
Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. I just wanted to know, I know you said before you don't like a lot of stage direction, and but I was wondering with like major spoilers and reveals and things like that, do they tell you beforehand, and so you'll kind of know how to play them? Like I was thinking with John's secret to when he tells Dean on his deathbed, you know, that he might have to kill Sam, or when Sam was drinking Dean's blood. Is that something they kind of reveal to you and you decide how to play, or they kind of tell you what they want to do?
Yeah, did you know that in the beginning of season 2, when John told Dean that if you couldn't cure me, you had to kill me? Did they tell you that before? They didn't tell me. I didn't know until Dean told Sam. So I would have been. They never tell me anything.
You mean that was going to come back and play?
Yeah. Did they tell you what to react to? Because remember, John does this number of whispers. The audience didn't hear anything.
No, they did not tell me.
So you just, like, did they say, just look horrified, or, you know, because you look, I mean, it was played perfectly considering what the reveal was, and I was just wondering, like, do they kind of tell you, or you just, do they tell you kind of look?
I think there was some direction of, you know, kind of giving an idea of like it's going to be something that you can't believe people say to you,
Okay.
and then I just react accordingly. I'm generally not listening to anybody most of the time. So I just go into my kind of bag of tricks and pull something out and hope that works.
In fact, he didn't hear what you just said. He's just been talking.
No, yeah, that was something that they came up with later. So, and you know, they're pretty specific about planting those seeds. So for the most part, they do know where they're going or what the intentions of certain things are. But for me, I actually like to kind of stay in the dark about it as long as I can, be more like an audience member, because then I get excited about when I read the script and I'm like, oh, no way, that's playing off. So I prefer that as opposed to them telling me all the, spoiler alerts. I don't want to know.
Just for curiosity, are any of our writers in the house? Is anybody out there currently writing for Supernatural? Sweet. No, I mean for the show. No, thank you. That's amazing. I just want to make sure we can talk badly about them. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. I was just curious. I didn't know if they were going to show up. But amazing. Thank you. The only stage direction I don't like is when it says that somebody has to cry, because then you feel like I've got to cry, but I don't want to. And sometimes my character, I've cried as Sam Winchester when it didn't say to cry, and then sometimes it's like Sam cries, and I'll be like, I don't feel like Sam would cry. If I cry, it's gonna be faking it. So that's the only stage direction I don't like. But anyways, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wanted to know what the most emotional scene you guys have done in like all of the show. Like what, in your opinion, was the most emotional scene that you guys have done?
Jensen?
Most emotional?
Like that, like really got you going.
I think the Nutcracker scene made me cry.
And I was crying with laughter. There's a couple that kind of come to mind. You know, the one where Sam dies and talking over his dead
Which
body.
time Sam dies? Which specific?
When he got stabbed in the back. So that one was tough, and I remember telling the director at the time, I was like, you know, I don't know how many of these takes I have in the gas tank, so if you could shoot as much of it in one pass as possible, that'd help us all out. 'Cause that one was tough. Also, the other one was, keep in mind, I always forget the name of that episode, where Dean tells Sam about his experience in hell.
Heaven and Hell? That's right.
Is that it?
Yeah, because it's season 4.
I remember that was, for some reason, just got really emotional. And sometimes it's interesting when you're doing scenes like that, because your brain knows that that this is not real, but you're telling your body that it is. And so your body is reacting accordingly, which is why it produces tears, and it can shake, and you can start getting sweaty, and you know, it just turns into a mess. And sometimes it's hard to turn that off once it's got to that emotional level. And I remember at the end of that scene, I had to take a walk and just walk it off. As my dad always told me, walk it off.
I think for me, I think there are two that I can remember. One was Art, having to put down something.
I hated watching you go through that day, because Jared this was early, was that season 2? It was 1.
2.
It was 3.
2.
1.5.
2.
2.
So he was still trying to figure. I mean, we weren't as close to the characters as we are now, and so being as close as we are now to the characters, there's an emotional attachment that you have to these characters that you're able to tap into a lot easier now than I think we did back in the first few seasons. And so I remember Jared, during that filming of that scene, he stayed in that heavy emotional state. And he was just like in the corner, just like rocking, and I remember, I don't know if you tell him, if you want to tell him what you were thinking about.
I think, so I have a dog. I have 2 dogs now, but at the time I had 2 dogs as well. But it reminded me, so the scene in Heart, I think you probably have all seen it, where I have to kill Madison. Is that right? And it made me think about my dog, like having to put down a dog that doesn't know what it had done wrong. And so I kind of started thinking about my dog and how I would feel if I had to go shoot my dog, even though my dog didn't mean to do something. And it was a very sad scene. I just started thinking about my dog. But a lot of times in these scenes, like even in Sacrifice, I kind of stayed in it. My 2 big ones were probably Heart in season 2 and the season 8 finale with Mark Shepard, Sacrifice. And so I think, thank you. So those were both, they kind of consumed me a little bit, and also I feel very lucky. For those who I haven't had the opportunity and pleasure to meet, and thanks, I feel very lucky to be able to play Sam Winchester in front of you guys, so thank you. And so some of these scenes that I feel really capture Sam and or Jared and or issues a lot of us have dealt with, I really try and give it the sincerity and gravitas that it deserves. So I think those 2 for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.